talk about Human Trafficking Awareness, because what is January, Sandra?
Human Trafficking Awareness Month.
Well, let's start off with the basics. What is human trafficking?
So the definition of human trafficking basically means the exploitation of an individual for sexual services or labor with the use of coercion, fraud, or force.
Okay, and is it different than human smuggling?
Yes, because human smuggling doesn't always have human trafficking, but human traffickers can smuggle their victims. It's just the use of fraud, force, or coercion that really makes it human trafficking.
Okay, and where does Florida land?
Florida is the third highest in the United States. Yeah, and it makes sense if you think about it, because we are a vacation destination with Disney, Universal Studios. People do come to Florida just for spring break,
Right.
So we are a hotspot for traffickers.
Now, when you mentioned, like, I know there's the big port cities of Tampa and Miami, but it happens in Charlotte County, right? When people think that it doesn't, but it does. It happens anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. Human trafficking can happen in third world countries, little rural areas like this, big cities. It does not discriminate based on location. And now with the use of social media, it's easier than ever for traffickers to lure victims.
Now, what is force, fraud, or coercion?
So force, obviously, it can be physical or non-physical, grabbing or just threatening to hurt you or your family. Threats do make a difference. Fraud, just basically, like, for example, let's say I post a job interview or a job opportunity on Craigslist, and I'm lying about it because I want to lure victims in, and I'll lie to them like, oh, okay, this is gonna be great. Yeah, I'm gonna pay you X amount of money. So the victim, my potential victim, will be like, wow, this is crazy. I'd be dumb to pass this up. So that's fraud. And then coercion, another example that I could give would be traffickers going on Instagram, commenting on a young girl's pictures. They're commenting because they think that she has low self-esteem, so they kind of want to charm her,
right.
Bring her up, buy her all these things, essentially love bomb her, and then kind of exploit her little by little. And then when she decides to say, no, I'm not okay with that, establish her boundaries, they will blow up and gaslight her. So they kind of coerce her into thinking that this is the new norm for her.
So they have all these tricks and tactics to lure these people in. Now, what are some of the other tactics? Are there any other ones that you think of? Or
any other tactics? Yeah, it can be in person as well. They can go up to a homeless person, offer them shelter, and then the homeless person, they're at their most vulnerable.
Right.
Obviously, they're not going to say no. They're not going to, overthink it too much. Or the runaway youth. A lot of runaway youth are kidnapped by these human traffickers, and sometimes they are coerced with, promises of shelter, a place to stay, money, and then sometimes drugs and alcohol do play a big role into luring victims.
And that's how they keep them too, under their control and with that power. And I know, like, massage parlors are routinely raided, and they're routinely found to be housing many people who just come here and they're forced into these jobs just to make money for these individuals who are really like slave traders.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, it's not just massage parlors. It can be restaurants, bars, hotels, anywhere. You just really have to know where the hotspots are and when to look for the signs.
It's just, oh gosh. Now, what are some of the signs of the potential victims? If we're looking, because as a community, we should be coming together to find out and kind of eradicate whatever we can.
Yeah, if you see something, say something.
Absolutely.
So possible signs are unexplained injuries, branding. Medical professionals can tell you, or if they have seen it, they'll see a victim with a lot of STIs, a lot of recurring UTIs. And if you think about it, if somebody that's not in the situation, why are you getting so much of this repetitive, like, all the time? And branding and, like, weird locations, like near the groin or anything. The traffickers do want to keep their victims alive, but they will do the bare minimum. So bad teeth, because they're not going to take them to the dentist. Like, it's not going to be pertinent to their health.
And what you said about wanting to keep them alive, that goes back to that stat that I heard, or the information was that you use drugs are gone, but you can use a person over and over again until they die.
Yeah.
And even after death, they can still take advantage of it.
Well, yeah. If you think about it, you get like a nice young looking girl, you can exploit her sexually, and then once she's no longer deemed desirable, you can use her for work, for her labor, and then if she passes or something, you can, sell the organs. And you can sell, there are many traffickers looking for different types of people, so there's pretty much a market for anybody, as horrendous as it sounds.
Anyway, well, it's over a $32 billion a year industry. I mean, that's just, didn't you tell me it's second only to?
Drugs and firearms.
That's just horrific.
Yeah. Other possible signs?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll see like these relationships that are really odd, like a very poor person with a very wealthy person, or a very old man with a very young girl. So you'll see that the natural like imbalance in that relationship, and it's a power imbalance, you know? So that is another way that you can see like the dynamic that a trafficker has with their victim. And it's another way they maintain control of the victim as well. Other ways they maintain control, you know, it's like threatening family, threatening to hurt them, or exploit them even more, embarrass them. Just any way, they do figure out their victims. They figure out their vulnerabilities, their weaknesses, their strengths, and they play up on that. So it's essentially a roller coaster of emotions that this person has to go through, which is
awful. And I know, I remember the police officer told us once that one of the signs is finding like wads of cash or hotel keys, meaning they're transient, they're moving from place to place. Now, is it all females or males trafficked too?
Yes, males can be trafficked as well. They can be trafficked they can be exploited sexually. It might not be as prevalent as with females,
Right.
but they are exploited for their labor, for labor services as well.
You don't even realize all the different ways that people can be used.
Yeah.
I just want to let everybody know who's watching that if you or anyone you know may be a victim of human trafficking, you can become a survivor with our help. And please reach out to us. Our helpline number is 941-637-0404, and we're on social media at CareFL. We're on social media at Care Charlotte County. And our website is carefl.org, which has a place for you can text and you can escape if you need to. If somebody comes in the room that you're terrified of, that is holding you there, you can get out of it quickly so as to be safe. Now, Sandra, at the end of this month, do we have something coming up?
Yes, we have the Standing Together Responding to the Call event, which is an event on human trafficking awareness. It's January 31st, starting from 9 o'clock in the morning and ending at 5 o'clock in the evening. Law enforcement will come and talk to the community, as well as human trafficking survivors and other human trafficking service providers. It's a community collaboration to help the fight against human trafficking.
Okay, and can people register online?
Yes.
That's great.
And our website is carefl.org if you'd like to register.
And the last thing, is it free?
Yes, it is.
So there's no reason to not come. Okay. Well, I appreciate all the information you gave us, and thank you for sitting down with me today. I'd like to thank FCASB. Like and share our posts, and thank you for being here, and we'll see you next month.